Welcome everyone to episode 104 of the Analog Assault Podcast. This week we're talking about Xbox and PlayStation and The Mandalorian. This is the way. Let's go!
You're listening to Analog Assault, a video game podcast by Mulehorn Gaming.
This is for you, Fake. Woo, we're hydrated and ready to go.
Ready to rock, baby.
Ready to rock. We got so much to talk about. We're going to make this a 3-hour-long podcast just for Radical tonight. So she's missing
We'll
a
shave
hockey
some time
game.
off. 258.
Love it.
There we go. There we go.
Great.
Yeah. So, guys, before we get into this tonight, a little bit of housekeeping. If you like the content you see here, hit that smash button right here on Twitch to help out MHG. And you can catch the podcast live every Thursday night on Twitch at twitch.tv/Mulehorn Gaming, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we have officially 2 new hosts on the podcast. We have Radical and Lupo. What up, guys? Yeah.
What up?
Yeah.
These guys. Look
These
at us
guys.
now. Look at us now.
Look at us now.
So we also have the community manager and website editor-in-chief, Nate Johns, with us tonight. And, of course, Primetime. So guys, how's your week's been? It's been 2 weeks since we podcasted. What you been playing? What you been doing?
Stress. See this gray streak? It's new.
It's new.
My kids are like, "Oh, Dad, your beard
Oh
is
my
extra
gosh.
gray." I'm like, yeah, it is.
Did you tell them it was their fault?
I did include that comment, partially. Now, work's been saying some scheduling with the kids and whatnot, but I didn't get a whole lot done that I wanted to do. But I did get to grind some Avengers last night with Mule finally, and I started Cobra Kai today, and I'm digging it.
Cool.
Aside from that, it's just been work, man. That's it.
Yeah. That's about it? Well, nice, man.
Sadly, but true.
Sadly, but true.
Mm-hmm.
What about you other guys?
I've been playing like a little bit of everything, honestly. Like, so there's been new content in Borderlands this week. There's been new content in Destiny this week. There's been new content in Fallout this week. Played a little more Avengers. So it just kind of like spread my,
Your palette.
content appreciation everywhere. So it was nice. It was a huge change of pace. Like after coming of like 2 weeks of playing nothing but Avengers, pretty much. So spreading that out a little bit was good. But as far as like watching, I actually started watching Gotham on a few different people's recommendation. Like after that whole like Gotham Night like hype train, I was like, all right, I'm all in. And then you were like superheroes with Avengers at the same time. And I was like, superhero sensory overload. So I was like, all right, let me watch Gotham and see what this is all about. And actually, it's not as bad as I originally thought it was. So I've been actually enjoying it.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm on season 3 now.
How many
Yeah.
seasons total are there?
There's 5 seasons.
Yeah. It really picks
Might
up
be
around
my next
season
bit.
3. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Awesome.
What about you, Nate?
See, one of the big things, Kingdom of Amalur Re-Reckoning. So I've been playing a lot of that. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Finished up Tell Me Why, which was what
Ooh.
released by the people who did Life is Strange. So that was out on Game Pass. They did
Okay.
3 chapters of that. That was a nice change of pace. Little Tony Hawk. Was that
Yes.
another re-release? A lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
And watching How I Met Your Mother. It's been a while since I've gone through that show
Okay.
again, so just enjoying that in the background, and of course The Boys.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh,
The
the boys.
Boys.
Yes,
Yes.
Yes.
it has been crazily good.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
So real quick, he mentioned How I Met Your Mother, and it's really funny because like Marina Baccarin is like a character in Gotham and both How I Met Your Mother. So if you don't know who she is, she's the voice of Sagira, also from Destiny,
Yeah.
and the companion from Firefly. Ever since seeing How I Met Your Mother, though, I can't see her as any other character except for the crazy-eyed girlfriend. And it's like it's ridiculous. Like, you can't take her seriously in any other like role after that. It's awful because like she's a good actress. She really is like a good actress, but all you see is the crazy-eyed girl from How I Met Your Mother.
How I Met Your Mother does that with a lot of characters too.
Yes,
like it's amazing how many different actors and actresses show up in that show. Like I just finished the Cal Penn section, or when you have Sarah Chalke on there for a while. But yeah.
I've not watched How I Met Your Mother, which is funny because I'd probably enjoy it. I like am I gonna say her name wrong? Colby Smulders a lot. I think it's Colby, right? Yeah, it's Colby. I like her a lot. She's in a show, Friends from College, which is a very adult show, but I love her character in that. So if there's any reason I'm gonna watch How I Met Your Mother, it's gonna be because of her.
There you go.
Yeah. So this is gonna be a shock to so many people, but I've been playing Destiny, which is fine.
What?
Actually, a big accomplishment.
Wow.
Big accomplishment for Radical 618 in Destiny. I got my mountaintop and my anarchy in the same week, so it was a very
You're welcome.
yeah, thank you. For the anarchy, I did the mountaintop all by my gosh dang self for the most part, and it was absolutely tough. And it's a great gun, and I never want to do a grind like that ever again, except yes I do, because all I do is play this game. I did also purchase Among Us, which I'm really excited to try with some peeps, hopefully coming up soon. That game looks so funny. Been watching my boy, who I call my boy, who I've never met in my life, but my boy Ninja play it, and he's very, very funny, like top tier entertainment when he's playing that game. So that's who I am going to try and emulate. And then I've played it before, but I also purchased Stardew Valley finally on PC. Super chill. I love that game. It's very relaxing, and there's nothing better than farming and planting things that aren't real plants, which I've learned from having too much foliage at my house. Not in my house, but at my house around the yard. So and I've been watching a lot of hockey. Not really any shows recently. My team is in the playoffs. They're playing right now. This is how much I like you guys. It's tied 1-1 at the end of the second. If my team wins, we go to the Stanley Cup final. I'm done.
Nice.
Thank you for being here.
Yes.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
So
Right
Mule,
on.
how about yourself, man? What have you been playing, man?
Yeah, what are you doing, Mule?
Warzone. I've actually been
Yeah, I
playing
know.
Warzone.
Get the hell out of here.
Have you been
Yeah.
happy or salty?
How many controls have you broke this week?
0. It's not been bad. I did have one moment where I was a little salty last night when I was playing with Dr. Crank and Shaken, and there was a team, we were playing quads, and I would have wiped the entire team by myself except for one guy that was cheating. And it was a legit cheater because I threw C4 and it's sitting on like a light post, right? He's standing directly beside it in front of the light post with it right by his head. I blow up the C4, does nothing to him. I kill the other guys. I can kind of shoot him and finish him off. And the other guy's just standing there with full health, full like plates, and just mows me down. And I was like, this is why I stopped playing.
Isn't it funny? That you catch a real cheater this time.
A
and
real
you get the
one.
saltiest.
A real one, man.
You never say there's ever cheaters on any
Dude,
shooter you ever play.
I will say this was legit, man. It was infuriating because I was like, I was on my game and I almost wiped a squad all by myself. So I was like,
It was just that single cheater.
Right.
I know, just
And
that
I
one
believe
guy.
you so much.
It was bad. I didn't say it at first, but when I watched the replay, and then when Crank watched it, he was like, "Oh, dude, that is a known cheat." And I was like, "Okay, that's okay. If you're saying that, then okay." So, but yeah, I've been playing Warzone. I've been playing a little bit of Avengers. I've been playing that. I've been playing a lot of Star Wars actually because I almost got my Darth Maul skin. Finally,
Yeah.
There you
I'm
go.
like
There you go.
200 kills away. Yeah, yeah. Which
Oh,
Star Wars
also,
Sundays.
Fate brings up something else.
Oh,
Spellbreak?
Spellbreak. Yeah,
Spellbreak,
we
okay.
jumped in that a little bit. It's not bad. It's definitely a different type of BR, a lot slower paced. It's all kind of magic based, but it's pretty fun. It's a fun change up.
Did you find any cheaters in that game?
Probably
there
at
was
least
some.
one.
Hey,
Someone
you
streamed
Fake
it.
is in chat and he will tell you there was some suspect stuff. I would just say Fake is in chat
It was
and
a
he will
little
tell you that.
sus. A little sus.
He was a little sus. And there's, don't be suspicious. Don't
Don't
be
be
suspicious.
suspicious.
I'm just saying, yeah. But
I've seen that show.
yeah. Been keeping up with the boys, so even though I'm not a big fan, I've been watching it because I'm a cultured guy. I watch all kinds of stuff. So
When you say culture, you mean
You mean you're
I
watching
don't-
The Boys?
I don't drink Natty Light.
oh, well, there you go.
You do drink water out of a mug, though, so.
I got
And he
a
drinks
plastic
Miller
stein
High
right here.
Life. The water of beers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, let's just get into the
Let's
two
get into
big
it, please.
topics: the video game industry, the console wars, if you will.
Oh, boy.
Xbox, we saw the reveal. PlayStation, we saw the reveal. What do you guys think? Let's start with Xbox and just go at it.
Xbox is moving in a really good direction for communities, I think, and I'm really excited about it. I think that it's gonna. I've heard Lupo say this a lot. I'm not trying to steal Lupo's thunder, but like Lupo really says all the time, like it's so important for the gaming community to move in a direction that facilitates gaming with your friends, and Xbox is killing it. Xbox is like, this is what we're doing. This is going to be our shtick, and let's roll with it. And it's really nice to see as somebody who plays a lot of community games.
Yeah. I have to agree with that too, because that's been the whole reason why I've stuck with Xbox so long and PS4 for my exclusives, because community, that's where I play the games with my friends. And they just seem to be piling on more of that, creating opportunities for that to increase, and, not just by games, but price wise. And it's a great direction. They've changed the console war. I'm still frustrated saying that word, but for good, even the point where they kind of made PlayStation do some things we'll talk about.
Yeah. I'll wait till we talk about PlayStation, but I kind of said in our chat in Discord, I think the war is it's not, you can't even compare them. Well, I'll get into that. That was something I wanted to bring up, but I like where both consoles are going. I think they're doing it right for what they're trying to do.
I mean, the fanboys are always going to be there that bring it back up, but
that's true.
in general.
That's true of anything. I mean, that's true of anything. So I think the price points are great. I don't know what you're looking for, Mule, but I think the price points are great. I think it's hard to even argue the price points for both things. One thing I don't actually know, maybe I didn't do my research well, is the digital PlayStation 5, does that have the same specs as okay, so it is, quote, I'm just saying this as a quote, like it's worth the $100 more than the Xbox Series S, because the Xbox Series S takes a bit of a hit, right? In their specs,
Right.
in the specs.
And I think, some things with the S, it's got the same CPU as the X, but the GPU's lower, it doesn't have the disk drive, and it can't do the 4K like the X can.
Sure. So with that being said, like I think that the Series S is also a huge move. I think that's a great move. And going back to like what Xbox is trying to do with its community, like it's accommodating so many different types of people and families and all different types of socioeconomic statuses, right? Like it's making it affordable, it's making it accessible, and that's super important for something like gaming. That's all about everybody plays.
Everybody.
Yep, and speaking of plays, adding EA Play to Game Pass.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's a big get for them.
That's
I know it
very
doesn't
fast.
matter
Another
so much with
level.
the whole,
Another level.
even if it doesn't directly impact the Series X and the Series S, it's just for all Xbox gamers and PC.
Well, it's more incentive to buy
Stay
into
in the
the
ecosystem,
Xbox.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's all it's doing.
So what about you, Lupo? What do you think overall?
I think Rad stole my thunder, and I quit.
I knew he was going to say that. He's guilting me.
We
No,
need
no.
somebody.
He knows how to speak fun language. This is unfair. Vote him off the island.
In all seriousness, like that's like the bottom line. When everything comes down to it, the bottom line is you buy an Xbox if you want to play with your friends, you buy a PlayStation if you want to play by yourself. Like that's and like in previous generations we might have even said that for graphical capabilities, but I think even now the graphical capabilities of the Xbox are actually going to be better than what the PlayStation is. So third-party single-player games are definitely like a question right now of like what's going to be the better experience in that, and I don't think a lot of people like care at this point. Like they're just gonna be like, as long as we're gonna get a somewhat comparable experience, I don't really care where it is. If I play games by myself, I'm gonna do the PlayStation route. If I play with friends, I'm gonna do the Xbox route, because I don't think Xbox has enough right now to entice people to say like, I'm gonna buy this for my single player game experiences. But on the other hand, if you really look at it, we were actually estimating that one console would cost the price of both of them.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
So actually, like we're almost at the point now where you could say I'll buy both of them.
I'll buy both.
Because I was expecting to drop $700.
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say like if they're smart, they realize what they're doing and they're making gaming. And before when I said like the Xbox was more affordable and could be easier to acquire for many different types of families. The PlayStation really isn't that much more expensive, especially if you do the digital. So like they really, if they're smart, they're going to be like, yo, Microsoft, hey Sony, what's up, buddy? Let's just make this affordable enough so we're both prospering. People like both of our products, and then they're only going to benefit. So even if we're not quite at the crossplay that I know this group really wants the gaming industry to be at, they're almost there. They're like, yo, we can get families to buy both of our products. And then it's not a war anymore. Then it's just friendship. So
the other wrench in the cog to the thought, like the train of thought that you're bringing up though, is the crossplay. And without crossplay, it just really like still segregates people. And
I agree.
I hate it.
I agree. Yeah.
Because I don't play competitive games. I play mostly cooperative games.
Sure.
And there's no like advantage to being on one system or the other at this point. Especially like when graphical capabilities and processing speed is pretty much close to the same at this point. There's no reason why like a game like Destiny, well, Destiny's cross save, so that's close enough, but
it's gonna be cross-play eventually.
It should be cross-play. You have games like Dauntless that are cross-play. You have other games like that should be. If Fortnite even Save the World version is crossplay, so all those games should be cross. Any game with like that type of like gameplay loop should be crossplay.
Yeah. And I think that as the console war goes away, though, even if it is like a collaborative sort of, we have an Xbox and a PlayStation, I think both companies will be like, all right, we might as well just cooperate with each other. But when the word war is still being used and it's still PlayStation versus Xbox, it's just going to put, keep that barrier up as to like, well, wait, why would we benefit from this? So I think until they can be friends, crossplay is still going to kind of be at arm's length.
Yeah. On the affordability, I could see people just buying a PlayStation and doing all access for their Xbox.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because you're outlaying just the $400 for the digital edition of the PlayStation, then say
$25 a month.
A month.
Dude, you're literally stealing it for $25 a month.
Right.
Yeah. We didn't even talk about that yet. I mean, that's amazing. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
Inconceivable.
Yeah,
I like it too.
Yeah.
When I started thinking about this question, and when I saw the Xbox presentation, and I owned every console, so you can't say that I'm an Xbox fanboy, because most of the reason I play mostly on Xbox because that's where all my friends play. But when I was looking at it, and I was looking at all the value that you get for the price, and I was like, okay, so you're gonna have, what's it called, EA Play now, or EA whatever it is, the EA Access now on Xbox that's included. You're going to have Game Pass, which gives you hundreds of games. You're going to be able to finance the top of the line console with no interest for $35 a month if you want, which is basically a week's worth of getting coffee at Starbucks, you know, or something like that. And you also can play on PC if you want.
Mhm.
Like for me, when I saw that, and then, you know, seeing the PlayStation, we can just roll into PlayStation now, but like
Sure.
when I saw the PlayStation, I was just like, for me right now, and this is just, I was like, Xbox provides me more now than PlayStation does now. Because most of the stuff that I would buy a PlayStation 5 for would be in 2021. Like it's kind of off a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
And I was just looking at it and I was like, okay, let's look at the price points. Well, $35 a month, whatever, you know, the Series X is $499, the Series S is $399. Okay, PlayStation came out with their price $499, and then the all digital is what, $399. So the price points are pretty much the same. So there's no big thing here. But people don't realize is that also with PlayStation, you have to buy a specific SSD. You have to buy an additional controller, and their games are going to be $70. So when it's all said and done, you're going to spend about $600 to $700 just to get a PlayStation 5. Plus, if you want to buy their all access or their PlayStation thing, you know. So
Yeah.
And when I was looking at it, and I'm not trying to like crap on PlayStation, but when I was looking at it, most of the games they were showing off were old games. And one of the things that I always heard from the PlayStation camp was no one cares about backwards compatibility. No one cares about playing old games. It's all about these new exclusive IPs. And now what do we see? We're seeing like all these old games come back. And I'm just like, okay, well, which is it, man? Which is it? Is it because you want the exclusives? Which if you want the exclusives, then cool, man. I can play Spider-Man Miles Morales edition on my PS4. So I don't really need to get a 5 right now, you know?
Is it coming out for the 4?
It's
It
going to
is.
be out on the
Oh, it is?
PlayStation 4. Yeah.
Well,
So
Next Horizon.
and
Okay.
yeah, and so there, it's not giving me a reason to go out and get it until, of course, God of War.
2021.
But you know,
you mean
Boy.
Hogwarts? You mean Hogwarts
Boy.
Legacy, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Although that's
So-
going to be on PC, so it doesn't matter.
exactly what he said.
And after watching both of those premiere, I felt like Xbox just knocked it out of the park because they were so upfront with everything. You know, like here's the price, here's how you pre-order, and then you had the whole fiasco with the PlayStation pre-order stuff.
Oh man.
So that's
I think so. I think someone did that. That was an error.
yeah.
I think though it goes back to kind of what I was saying. Like, yeah, you're gonna pay more for PlayStation, but it's a little bit of a different experience still, though, right? Like if I'm gonna make a decision to buy a PlayStation, most of the time, like I was talking with one of my personal friends, and he was excited for PlayStation because he said all of his friends play on PlayStation. It's a little the online community is different on PlayStation than it is on Xbox, 100%. But like, you know, for me, if I'm going to pick between the two consoles, my situation is a little bit different. Most of the people I play with are on PC, right? So I'm going to say I'm just going to stay on PC playing the games that I play. And if I have to pick a console, I'm going to pick PlayStation because I'm a big single player gal, and I like a lot of those you know IPs that they're doing on PlayStation. So that's why I just, not that you're doing this, but that's why I kind of devil's advocate. Like, is there a point to pitting them up against each other anymore? Because they're different, you know, they're a
Yeah.
different breed. They're promoting different things.
Well, Xbox is not about hardware. Let's be real. They're not a hardware company anymore. They're a software company and a subscription service company.
Yeah.
So it's all about being in their ecosystem. While PlayStation is still very much a hardware company. So they want to, and so the way that they go about it marketing wise is they say, hey, let's get these really cool exclusives so people will buy our hardware. So they spend money on that. So like the COD beta, open beta, you can only play it on Cold War. You can only play it on PlayStation 5 or 4, right? You can't play it on anywhere else. So they're spending their money on that because they want people on their hardware. Well, Xbox, they don't give a crap if you don't buy the new Xbox. Like, yeah, they'll probably care a little bit, but not really, because you have all the PC, you have Windows, all the other stuff, Game Pass subscription services, Gold, and you can play basically any of them on any platform. So it's like, you're just in our ecosystem. You'll spend more money that way. The revenue was up 64%. What was it, a couple months ago? when a report came out. So it's not even a console war. Like
No, it can't be. They're just
know?
they're going down different roads. I was going to make a local reference to roads in my area, but nobody lives here, so it wouldn't make any sense. But you know, like it's this road and this road. But like, you know, that's exactly right. And that's why it's like exhausting. I almost said not the right word. That would have sounded weird. It's exhausting for me to like defend one over the other because like I'm an Xbox gal. Like I played on Xbox for years, but I'd rather have a PlayStation 5 just based on how I game now. Like I'll pay for Xbox stuff on my PC and have a PS5. You know what I mean? Like because I want to play Horizon Zero Dawn. I want to play I didn't play God of War 4, but I want to play God of War. Like listen, I have it and I haven't played it. I play a lot of things named Destiny and that's it, and other games, and it's hard for me. Anyway, so leave, Rachel. You suck. So I want to play all these single player games that aren't on Xbox. So I want to buy a PS5. I'm not pre-ordering a PS5, but I would play. You know,
can you though?
And I cannot, and I do not want to. No thanks. I mean, who's calling me? Who is this? Oh, it's my alarm telling me. I need to take the trash out. It's the alarm telling me to take the trash out. I thought it was going to be my garbage cousin harassing me about the Islanders Lightning game, and I was going to be like, "You're disowned from my family." I'm the worst This is my first podcast as a full-time host, and I'm ruining it. What's happening? She doesn't play God of War. Her phone rings in the middle of it. God. Yeah. Great. No, that's my thoughts. What else do you want to hear? What else do you want from us, Mule?
I want to hear what Lupo thought about it with PlayStation, Xbox. What's your dig with that?
Like I said, I'm ready to buy both right now because of the affordability of them.
Nice. Yeah. I love that answer.
And I haven't owned a PlayStation product since PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
That's
there you
impressive.
It just like it gives you the accessibility. So like, and I talked crap about it too. The whole like PlayStation Plus backwards catalog, which I think was absolutely a freaking joke if you're trying to appeal to the fanboys, which they're not at that point. But you have I don't even remember every single one they had on there, but it was like you had like Last of Us Remastered, which is an old game. You had Shadow of the Colossus, which is a remake. The Last Guardian, which is an old game. You know, all of these like really not like brand new titles, and that's what they're trying to sell with their subscription service. So like if you're trying to compete against Xbox, like give your premier titles, give Last of Us 2, give everything else that's coming after. You know, but I understand. They didn't even give Spider-Man. They didn't even give Spider-Man.
I was actually surprised that they didn't give Spider-Man or Horizon, but that's because Horizon just came out on PC, and that's because you can get a remastered version of Spider-Man with Miles Morales.
But I'm that appeals to me because I haven't played all those games.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Game Pass started somewhere, right? I remember when Game Pass started, it was not good games on Game Pass. Like it had to grow from somewhere. And for PlayStation, where it's kind of a fairly new concept to do something like this, you have to pick and choose where do we start. And so, you know,
that's a good point.
You know, they're putting some blockbuster games up there. Like Uncharted 4 is one of those games that it like keeps on giving to people. Like it's like Skyrim. Soon we're going to be able to play it on our refrigerators. Like that's the game that people just like keep playing. Same with like GTA and, you know, stuff like that. So I was going to call Mule out. Like, I don't think they only showed old games. Like it was just that segment that was old games. Like they showed a lot of new games in that.
Nothing this year. Nothing this year. They gave me no reason as a PlayStation 4 owner to buy a PlayStation 5 until late 2021.
What Xbox One exclusives are coming out this year?
So the reason why I would buy the new Xbox over the new PlayStation, this is just for me personally, chat, and everyone listening, is because some games, because I play mostly competitive shooters, as you guys know, and looter shooters and things like that. The frames. I went over to PC. I've been playing Destiny and other games on PC, and I'm getting 144 frames in 2K. Looks amazing. And the fact that I'll be able to play some of my Xbox games with my Xbox Bros at 120 frames or what? Yeah, it's 120, I think, right? For specific games that are optimized for it, then that is a selling point for me. So, and
that's fine.
And also, it makes it easier for me to stream it, honestly, because I have a one rig setup with an older CPU.
Yeah.
And PC games, as you guys know, Lupo and Rad, they're pretty demanding in some cases. So when you stream and play on the same rig,
I've got a second PC that I just finished building to
see,
corroborate your story.
Yeah.
So so for me, that's a reason to buy it. Now, I'm not saying I won't ever buy the PlayStation 5. I just won't buy it until late 2021 because the fine print they didn't want you to read says also coming to PC.
I know. For most of it.
Just like
egged on a lot of those.
Yeah.
They took it down.
I was just devil's advocating. Yeah, you in the specific point of like, there's no games coming out for PlayStation in 2021. So like, or in 2020. So like, that was just the point. Was like, but wait, there's no games coming out really exclusive to the Xbox One either, because like, if you take exclusivity out of it and you say, what games do I want to play on a console? What do I want from the console? Then you say, okay, well, where do I want to play Cyberpunk? Where do I want to play Assassin's Creed? Where do I want to play whatever the heck? Where do I want to play Beyond Light? Like, where do I want to play all these different things? And so I think that's more of the conversation people should be having when they decide what console do I want to get right now. If you're somebody who's saying, I want to pre-order this right now, you have to ask, which of the big games that are coming out do I want to play on my console?
I mean, I have a PlayStation.
If you have both, which one's older? Like, I have an original Xbox One. That's why.
Do you need to upgrade?
Sure, that's what we have. I have an original PlayStation and an original Xbox One. We're going to be upgrading. My husband will probably upgrade to the Xbox for himself, and eventually I'll get a PlayStation when they give an announcement for Horizon Zero Dawn. I mean, that's what I'm going to do.
Although Horizon that one's going to be on
West.
PS4 as well.
Yeah, so
Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah, it's coming to PS4.
Exactly. I got a PS4. Don't need to update.
A lot of people have been.
That's a bad play. Okay, that I didn't know that.
See,
that's a bad play.
That came out after the conference.
There's no reason for me to upgrade then. Right there.
The only thing I'm happy about is that means that game's coming out earlier than I thought it was. But yeah, that's actually, that makes me make this face.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to upgrade, because if I'm playing it for the single player experience, which that's what most of the exclusives are on PS4, I don't need to upgrade. Like, I would only upgrade for the frames, because in shooters, you play like I mean, playing on PC. In Warzone on PC, it's a totally different game. Just like Destiny, totally different game, because like I can see people so much faster. The game's much more fluid with the frames, and it's just, you do have an advantage. As many people don't want to say it, but you do. If I'm playing at a 30 frames per second on console compared to 140, 144, or 120, you do have an advantage.
How did I miss that Horizon Zero Dawn news? What have I been doing? Who am I? Why am I on this podcast? What is happening?
You've been watching hockey.
I'm only very quickly checking the score. It's fine.
I heard the click. I heard it.
It's still tied. I know. Actually, my mic picks up my keyboard and everything else really badly, so I'm not typing or anything because I'm nice. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, I missed that. When did they announce it? Right after that conference?
It came out. I think it got lost in the pre-order debacles.
It certainly did, because
I
lost it.
I mean, that was
Oh well.
There was a lot
everything I said
of
about PlayStation out the window.
There's a lot of like post-show news that like they were reconfirming and unconfirming things, like Final Fantasy. I think it's a timed exclusive. They said what was the other big one that they said? Like it was originally PS4 and it would be on PC later, and then they just said no, it's only gonna be on PS4.
That was Demon Souls.
Yeah, Demon Souls. Yep.
It'll be on PC.
Yep.
I'll add
probably for a year.
Yeah.
That in my opinion, it's pretty much along with Mules. Same reason my ecosystem's here, and just like I did with the PS4, I will eventually get PS5, but not until those games are out.
Yeah.
Additionally, I have a question of everyone here that is going to get the Xbox Series X. Who here is going to have to reconfigure their console or setup to make it fit?
The fridge.
This guy.
Are they making it so that you can put it horizontal at all?
I think it's supposed to set up straight like that. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's supposed to set horizontal. I don't know.
A little reconfiguration that needs to get done to make that happen.
But Lady
I'm okay
brings
with
up Lady
Yeah.
brings up a good point in chat. She talked about other podcasts mention this as well about how Sony seems like they're shady AFs. You know,
I feel that
misleading.
right now. I feel that right now.
Well, even Miles Morales originally was supposed to be. Most people thought it was just PS5, and then after the show, it was like, oh, that's on PS4 too.
Yeah.
Very
I agree with Lady there. I feel a little blindsided because I was full send on a PlayStation 5 next year, and now I'm like, but wait, if the game that I want to play is going to be on my crappy PS4, I'm just going to buy it. I'm the type of gamer, I'm really just in for it for the experience. Like if I lose a little bit of like the graphics, I'm okay. Like I can accept that. So like, wait, if I'm gonna pick between buying a new console to play a game that I'm really excited for, or just playing it, buying only the game and playing it on the console I already have, why? What the heck? I'm upset.
We bursted your bubble. I'm sorry.
My bubble is burst. At least my team is still not losing, but my bubble is burst.
Well,
I'm upset.
I'll say at least Xbox tells us if it's exclusive, like Crow saying in chat.
That's true.
They give us a link that they tweet and when you can actually, with your time zone, pre-order. So you don't have here's the fake website you can go pre-order that you're supposed to get an email and you never get an email with, I don't know. That was shady. That was shady to me.
It's just them collecting and selling information.
Probably. Yeah. It's probably just for marketing. Like put in all your stuff so we can sell it to whoever else. So.
Strategery.
Anyway.
Yeah, lady asking in chat, did no emails go out? Yeah, there's a lot of people on Twitter that were saying no emails went out. And I also saw some data on Twitter. I wish I could find it again. I was looking for it earlier. That I think only about 3% were going all digital. Everyone else was getting the mega $4.99 PS5.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is surprising. People just want what they want, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, like I saw like I was just reading an article before that was talking about like, why would you not buy the Blu-ray, like the Blu-ray disc with it? It's like I think I own 3 Blu-rays.
I got Voodoo, man.
Yeah.
Like I have Netflix, man. I have Disney Plus. I have all of that stuff. What the hell do I need a disc drive for? I don't have a disc drive on my computer on any one of the 3 of my computer. I'm sorry, 4 of my computers. I don't have a disc drive.
The next gen, that's not this coming gen, which now I'm confused about and have a lot of bitter in my mouth about, it will be all digital. At some point, we're just going to be all digital. There's not going to be discs anymore.
No, and what's even worse is like, disc is somewhat pro-consumer, and I'm not saying it makes a huge difference, but because like the disc physical copies take up space somewhere on a shelf, they're eventually going to have to reduce the amount of space it takes up on the shelf. So physical copies always go on sale, or often go on sale. Digital copies do not. So if they were in their right minds as executives, they would just be doing digital. But every earnings call that any developer or any publisher does or has done over the last year will tell you how much greater and how much more saturation digital sales have had over the last 18 months.
Wow.
I will tell you though, to Dark's point, he said he likes discs because he's a collector in chat. I will tell you, I took my son out because my oldest son's turning 10 this Sunday. He got his first Xbox gamer tag, and we went and bought his first Xbox game, a physical copy of Madden 2021. That's what he wanted. So we got the physical copy at GameStop, and we got in the truck, and I was sitting there looking at him, and I saw him holding the disc and looking at it and going just like, oh, and opening it up and looking at the stuff inside. And I got like super nostalgic, and I was like, man, I remember as a kid looking at those things and be like, this is so cool. Look at the instructions and the art and he was just like, and Dad, did you see that? And look at this, Dad. And it tells you, oh, and you can do this. And I was just like, man, that's why you still buy physical, because like, it's that nostalgia, man. It's like the feels.
Did you have to talk with him?
It's going out of style.
Oh,
Back in my day, We had instruction manuals inside the case.
Inside the case.
And I told him too. I was like, "Look, you can't leave that out. If it gets scratched, your game is done." He was like, "No one's touching this."
You can see that.
Yeah.
And then people have like made the argument about like collector's editions, and I completely understand that. But like if you want a case or so, like some physical representation, you could like Best Buy almost always sells a steel book for every single game that they sell. And you get those for like I think like $7 or $8 if you really want it, and they look nicer than the real cases anyway, or like the normal retail cases, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, man.
That's good.
It's so PlayStation. If you ever listen to this, or anyone with PlayStation, please don't be shady. Freaking, like, just tell us, man.
You've hurt Rad's feelings, PlayStation. I was full
That's
send.
gone too far.
Terrible. Terrible.
That's terrible.
I mean, I'm saying
Terrible.
I got my Taken King edition PlayStation. I don't need to upgrade. I mean, the graphics still look great to me. I played Ghost, and it looked amazing.
Yeah. I played Ghost on a PS4 whatever 7 edition, and it's looked great. It sounds like it's about to whiz off into space.
Airplane, no go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it good. That's the thing. Okay, well,
all right. So we had our console talk here. Now it's time to get down to business,
Reduce
guys.
the sodium.
It's time to get down to business. You guys know we have to talk about it. And that's the Mandalorian Season 2 trailer, baby. Okay.
Look good. Look good.
I think all of
had
us here.
goosebumps the whole time. It was so dang good.
Yeah.
So
all
dang
of us
good.
here are Star Wars fans, so let's just go one by one. What did you guys think? The trailer. Are you ready?
Yes. I mean, I'm not a Star Wars fan on the same level you are, but I think the production value that I saw in the trailer alone was a level above what we saw in the first series, which is pretty dang good itself. And with, it looks good. It's good. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm good. I got nothing else. This is good.
Many may not know, I'm a big Emmy Award fangirl. I don't watch all of the shows, but I follow the Emmy Awards really closely. And I was pleasantly surprised, but not surprised that Mando Season 1 was nominated for as many Emmy Awards as it was. So when I saw the trailer, I had high expectations, right? I was like, this is an Emmy Award nominated show. Like you better impress us now. Like you said it. You've set the tone. And the trailer was amazing. I mean, it looks like it's going to have another year of being a Emmy caliber show. And for a sci-fi show like that, let alone like a Star Wars show, like, with respect to the movies, while they've been nominated for a lot of, you could correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong, but you can correct me. While they've been nominated for a lot of like special effect, Oscars and different things like that, music, etc. Like to see like Mandalorian nominated for best drama was like, holy cow, this is legit. This is real. Yeah. I'm watching a show that's like part of history potentially. So to see that, just like emulated again in the trailer, it's going to be phenomenal. It's the only show my husband will watch with me. So I'm really excited that it looks good. And this household will be watching it.
Awesome.
Won a few last night.
It did?
It actually won a few Emmys already.
It did. Yeah, I saw today that it won a few. It was the Creative Emmys.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So what about you, Nate? What did you think about the trailer?
I mean, I thought it was great. The whole the scene with Baby Yoda when you can see Mando's getting ready to take out everybody in the barn. He just kind of reaches around and just closes the cage.
Nope.
I'm like, oh. And I'm
It's
excited
2020.
to see what they do with. Excited what they do with the Rebels content that we know is coming. Just seeing how that's going to connect with, we already know Ahsoka's going to be in it, and just what they're going to do with the end of the first season with the Darksaber.
Yeah. Lupo.
I think it's like the perfect like lead into season 2. Like going into season 1, it was a bit more like enigmatic, that you're like, what is this show? What's it going to be about? You know, and now like they have to take everything that made the show great in season 1 and just like roll that into season 2. So like you can't like give some half-assed trailer going into season 2. You have to like up the stakes. You have to make people really want to reinvest into series, because you're not like pitching a new show. You are reselling why people want to spend their time watching this show. And I think they did do a good job of that. My only hesitation, I said this many times in the first season, the memes have to go, because it's a slight little blight on like the integrity of the show as a whole.
Yeah.
I don't like quote unquote baby Yoda. It's not baby Yoda. That's like
The child.
It's the child. Yes, it's the child. Please.
But that's kind of like Star Wars, though, right? Like, there's that. I'm not a fan of this scene, but there's that scene in The Last Jedi with Poe Dameron, like, in that first scene where he's like, "Did you hang up on me?" Or like, this is, he's like prank calling.
That's different. Yeah. That's different. Like that, but this is the fans like specifically going out and just calling it Baby Yoda as opposed to saying the child. And even I forget, like, did Jon Favreau say it last season where he's like, no, this is not Baby Yoda. This is the child.
Yeah,
I think as a show, like, you just gotta run with it, dude. Like, the Star Wars community is such a goofy bunch of people. Like,
hateful.
It can be.
Star Wars fans are brutal. Like, I will be completely honest. Like, I have lived through two different trilogies. Star Wars fans are brutal.
Let me defend the fandom a little bit here with this here from Mr. Lupo's jabs. It's because we care so much.
We're stirring the water here.
We care so much. That's why. It's because like we have this huge amount of lore that we've been given in the EU, right? And then it's all just thrown out. So
no, I agree with you there. I 100% agree with you there.
Yeah. And so what they're doing, and thank goodness, like the whole reason why Star Wars is going to be saved, in my opinion, and it's not like it needs saving, but the whole reason why it's even better, and people that were on the fence of being negative about it are coming back, is because of two people, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. Those guys know what they're doing. You have someone who has written a lot of great movies and films that we enjoy, in Jon Favreau, and he knows what he's doing. And then you have Dave Filoni, who's literally like the second coming of George Lucas. Like, he's his underling, he's his understudy, and he literally will call George and talk to him about scenes, or George will come over and talk to him about scenes. And just the care. Like, I don't know if you guys watched the behind the scenes stuff where they kind of roundtable talked about episodes and the directors were all there and stuff. It's on Disney Plus. I forgot what it's called. But like,
Showcase.
Is it that? So I can't remember. But
something Showcase.
But like, listening to Dave Filoni talk about the lore of Star Wars is just incredible, coming from the standpoint of a hardcore Star Wars fan like myself. Like, I'm just listening to it and I'm like, dude, this guy gets it. He freaking gets it. He knows everything about Star Wars and he gets it. And like, hearing his explanation of why Qui-Gon was so important and why he was the chief reason why Anakin fell to the dark side was just like, dude, so freaking good. And so I've been looking at older interviews with Dave Filoni, and I think the direction that we're going and we're going to get in the season is a very deep dive into the lore of Star Wars and the history of Star Wars, and that they are tying in things from video games like Jedi Fallen Order, the Clone Wars, Rebels, the prequels. They're tying it all together because that's kind of the era of fans that we have right now.
Yeah.
The large majority is in that era of Clone Wars, Rebels, the prequels, right? And they're tying it all together. And you see shots of a planet that could be the place where Ahsoka crash landed with Rex at the end of Rebels season 7, or it could be Ilum, where the Jedi get their kyber crystals and eventually the First Order turn into the Starkiller base. So you're seeing a lot of deep dive. We see a picture of a lady that's cloaked that may be Sabine. So we may see an actual animated character come onto the scene. We know there's going to be Rex and Boba Fett confirmed in the film. So we know that those guys are going to be coming in. So I think it's going to be a deep dive lore, and for fans, like, it'll be good enough for the casuals, but I think it'll be like meaty for those that are like super into Star Wars, like myself. Yeah, like you're going to be like the blue milk, like Scarecrow saying, there it is, the blue milk, you know?
Well,
so
I think that's a testament to the showrunners, right? Like the ability to captivate someone who is a, diehard Star Wars fan, and then people who are more casual, and then, still being able to wow everybody. Like that's skill. Like I said, I'm a big TV person. I read a lot of stories and follow a lot of stories, and am pretty good when it comes to like show running. So that's a big deal. That's a really, really good skill that a lot of people don't have the ability to do. So kudos to that show running squad.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Season success doesn't ruin it in the second season. Doesn't pull a Heroes or something where it was
a Heroes,
fantastic, big deal the first season and just tanks. Hopefully it won't. There is still that possibility until we see it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're adding more big names to the cast where they didn't have that many in the first season, and that's always gives me some pause.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you guys knew this, but there was a lot of drama with at the end of season 1, season 2. The guy that plays the lead role for the Mandalorian, Pedro, he wanted more scenes with his mask off, and Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau were just like, no, that's not, that doesn't fit the lore. That's not
the way.
So creative was like, no, I mean, this is the role you signed up for. This is it, and he wasn't even on set that much because most of it was actors, like stunt actors that were in there, and he did most of the voice acting in the studio. So he got really pissy, and apparently in season 2 filming, he stormed off the set at one point and went behind their backs and went to Kathleen Kennedy and was like, this is what I want, and I want more money. And Kathleen Kennedy said, okay, we'll make it work. They go to creative, which is Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, and they go, no.
Good.
It's like I love it because they're keeping the integrity. Like, I mean, I love Pedro as an actor. I love him as an actor. But dude, at some point, like, I think you got to get yourself out of the way and just let the art be. You know what I'm saying? And like, I think that's the hard thing in Hollywood right now is like actors getting themselves out of the way and just letting the art be. Like, the role is not you. The role is this, right. You're part of that role, but it's not all about you. So I don't know. There was a ton of drama about it. So hopefully that was all worked out. I mean, if anything, we'll just get Nolan North because he can voice anybody's voice. And
right.
Right.
But yeah, guys.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts about Star Wars and Mandalorian?
My last piece on Mando is I don't know if I'm going to watch it week to week because COVID has completely destroyed my faith in like any TV show running consecutive weeks. Because there was times in the quarantine and the lockdown where like I'm extremely into anime, watch it religiously every single week, and there's shows you want to watch every single week, but they dub week to week. So you get the material from Japan, and they can't dub it because they can't have people in the same space at the same time. So here we are. Then you're waiting like a month for a new episode. So like I'm forever scorned by these things.
I don't believe you.
I didn't watch
Promo.
Mando. I didn't watch Mando week to week when it aired in October. I was watching it like every
gosh.
I was watching it like probably every other week. And to answer Fake's question, yeah, I started God of High School. I didn't finish it or watch all of the episodes that are available to us in America.
It's okay, Lippo. We're still friends.
It's fine.
Dude, I would watch it and then I'd watch it like 5 or 6 more times during the week because it was just that good. So by Tuesday, I'd had watched it at least 4 times because it would come out on like Sunday or something like that. Yeah. So
I rarely watch things more than once in the first place.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I can feel that.
That's why I don't buy Blu-rays.
Unless it's
Yeah.
The Office or Parks and Rec.
Or how
That I can watch all day long. Every day.
Yeah.
But that's beside the point.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Well, guys, this was a fun cast. We got to talk about some fun stuff, and
Hot topic.
it's good to have Rad and Lupo here too as hosts. So, guys, I'm excited for y'all. Stoked for y'all.
Absolutely. Welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me talk a lot. I appreciate it.
That's what you're here for.
And she's sober, so.
And I'm
And she
I
gave
plan
up
to
her.
always
Yeah, she gave
and
up
my
her.
hockey.
Your hockey, yeah. There you go. Well, guys, if you like this podcast, then make sure you visit MuleHornGaming.com's About page to find more great content creators there. And if you're looking for some Mule swag, make sure you check out the store page on the website as well. And if you would, guys, like us on Facebook, leave us a review on iTunes. You can follow us all on Twitter. And remember, guys, when in doubt, blow it up!
Explosions!